Good morning, everybody. It is Claire Jones here from Your One Life Healthy Weight Solutions. It is Monday morning, 9 a.m. on Monday, the 23rd of January 2023. And I'm here with you for episode 31 of Monday Morning Matters. Now, if you are new to the group, I'd just like to wish you a very, very warm welcome. And just to explain a little bit about what Monday Morning Matters is all about. So basically, as it's Monday morning, it's a good time to be looking ahead to the week that you've got coming up and seeing what matters to you. And also, I talk about matters that matter to you in relation to weight loss. So it just kind of makes sense to call it Monday Morning Matters. So every week I go live at about 9 o'clock and I talk for about 10 to 15 minutes on a topic that I know matters to you. And I know these things because you tell me that they matter to you. So here I am for episode 31. And I've started a new theme this month in that every month is going to have a bit of a theme to follow. So whereas previously I was just sort of doing it a bit random according to what was coming up at the time, now I'm taking you on a little bit of a journey through the month. So this month, the question was, or the topic is, why is weight loss so hard? And also, what can you do about it? And I've chosen this because one of the things that time and time again people say to me, because when people sign up to my mailing list, there are some questions that people get invited to answer. And one of them is about what you're struggling with. And there's options to choose. And one of them is, I know what to do, but I'm not doing it consistently. So what I would say to that is, if you know what to do, but you're not doing it consistently, do you really know what to do? Because otherwise you would be doing it, wouldn't you? So is the gap not around the practical stuff, but about what's stopping you from doing the practical stuff? And that's what I can help you with. So this month, we've been looking at this. We started off with the real reasons why weight loss is so hard. And things like, we're not designed to lose weight voluntarily. When we start to lose weight, we immediately put ourselves into conflict with our biology. Our bodies don't want us to lose weight. We're not designed to lose weight voluntarily. We're only designed to lose weight when food is scarce. Food is never normally scarce in the world that we live in. And of course, the world that we live in is full of calories. Everywhere we look, when we go shopping, you walk down a high street, food is everywhere. Food is so easily available to us now, and in more desirable formats that are not very healthy for us and are just available in vast quantities. And we have developed ways of eating that we've developed over according to our habits over a very long period of time, and those habits are hard to break. And we tend to set ourselves up to fail when trying to lose weight by not taking into account these things, and we kind of go into it thinking, right, it's going to be easy, but it's not, and we need to work with that rather than trying to fight it. So episode 30 was all about, which I did last week, was all about how to be kinder to ourselves by changing our attitude towards weight loss, stop looking for the quick fixes, accept that it's going to be hard, that it's going to take time, and being ready and forgiving yourself when things don't go to plan, rather than sort of falling off the wagon and think, well, that's it, I'm useless, I can't do this. Work with that and learn from it. So episode 31, which is today's episode, is all about really, learning how to be more consistent, because that is the fundamental problem, isn't it? Is that, we know, from what we're bombarded with all these messages, you've got to eat less and move more. If only it was that simple, hey? But there is something fundamental that stops us from being consistent. And yes, obviously, when it comes to what do we need to do? What are the practical things we need to do to be more consistent with losing weight? Well, we've kind of got to be prepared. We know that, don't we? We need to make sure that we've got some kind of plan. We need to make sure that we've got some kind of goal, and that we need to have, done the shopping list. Perhaps looked at what we're going to be cooking and eating for the week. perhaps knowing how we're going to manage difficult situations. But the fundamental problem is that when we decide that we want to lose weight, we want to lose the weight, but we don't necessarily want to have to do the things that it takes. We don't want to eat less. We don't want to have to change the way we do things. And so the trick in terms of getting long-term results and starting to manage this is to recognise that when we are tired, hungry, stressed, feeling emotional, and we're trying to follow something that we're not comfortable with, that we're not used to doing, we will choose the path of least resistance. And that is because we are thinking and using the primitive part of our brain. The primitive part of our brain, which is responsible for our survival, doesn't like us to be uncomfortable. And it's like, oh, I can't be doing with this right now. And then we just go back to what we're used to doing. So what we need to do in order to be able to manage this in the long run is to learn how to use a different part of our brain when making the decisions about food and drink. Because when we are using the primitive part of our brain, which is responsible for our survival and also responsible for our desire to eat, it can't really be trusted to make the best decisions. Certainly not in my experience and the experience of those that I work with. So that's what we need to learn to do. So we need to understand the forces that are at play. There's a big part of us that does not want to change. There is a big part of us that wants the result, doesn't want to have to do the work, which is why we tend to look for the quick fixes. We find we tend to look for the shiny objects, the things that promise us the results. Because there's a part of us that thinks, oh, I'll just buy that and that will do the work for me. It doesn't, does it? So we need to get ourselves to the position where we actually want to do what it takes. We actually want to make the effort. We actually want to do the activities that will get us the results. So we need to learn how to tap into that really logical, rational part of ourselves. That part of us that makes us human, the part of us that the rest of the animal kingdom doesn't have. You know, we all have the ability to think rationally. The problem is that we don't use it when we need to, because we have these very strong habits that have developed over many years, and when something happens we have a response to that makes us want to do those things that hold us back. You know, good example is, oh, should we go to the cinema? As soon as we say, should we go to the cinema, my brain immediately goes to the Ben and Jerry's ice cream and the popcorn. It doesn't go to, oh, what film are we going to watch? Because that's such a big part of going to the cinema. So, but that's my primitive brain acting in that situation. So I need to be able to move myself out of that and not act, and learn how to pause and learn how to decide to do something that's actually more important to me than the popcorn and the Ben and Jerry's. And that is staying on track towards my goal. So we can take back healthy control by remembering this, remembering that we are highly intelligent. We just need to make sure we're using that intelligence. And rather than just going blindly into what we've always done before, is remember, we always have a choice. We always have a choice about our behaviour. Every single time we decide what to eat and drink, every time we act, we have an opportunity to do something different. But we have to tap into what is it that we want the most. And this is where it comes back to having a really, really important reason for losing weight. One that is where you want your life to be. How is your life going to be different? And make sure that is always in the forefront of your mind. And if you do that, and also make sure that you're remembering that you are a highly intelligent, rational human being that has the ability to control and manage this primitive part of you. And remember that in that moment, you have a choice. Do you want the Ben and Jerry's ice cream and the popcorn, for example? Or do you want to lose the weight and reach that goal and live that life that you know you want, that you'll be able to live once you've lost the weight. And also learn to enjoy the journey. You know, life doesn't stop just because we've decided to lose weight. So by learning about, you know, and understanding what it is that we really want, and choosing the actions that we know are going to get us there, and learning that actually those are what we want more than the Ben and Jerry's, and practicing that, because that is a skill. You know, this is not something that we can just suddenly do. It takes lots of time and practice and learning. And every time a situation happens where you kind of think, well, I knew I wanted, why did I end up doing that? Because you know we're having this conflict with ourselves. Use every single opportunity to learn, not as an opportunity to beat yourself up, but as an opportunity to learn, so that you can think, well, what part of my brain was I using in that situation? And the more we can start to raise our awareness, the more we can recognise what's going on, the more power we have over our decision making. And then we can unlock those results. So that's what today was all about. Next week, I'm going to be helping you with some more practical things that you can do to turn this into action. So I hope that was helpful. Do let me know in the comments if you've got any questions, and I will see you next week for episode 32 on practical things that you can do to help you with everything that we talked about this month. And I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.